Hey everyone, God bless. It's Pine Grove News Live, 6 p.m. right on the dot. Let's go over to, while we're starting, YouTube, see if we're live. We are. Everything's up and running there. Yeah, it's Monday. Vacation's over, day back to work. Yeah, I guess everything's back to normal. I don't think so. Not normal, that's for sure. A lot of apparently strange things, at least from other people's perspective. Things not working, things not being said, things to worry about, things to, I don't know, distract us. I want to thank all the veterans out there. Yeah, on this Veterans Day, 11/11/19. But I also heard there was this mainstream media interview with a vet that has actually been out of the service for at least 10 years. On that very note, I mean, when we find out that people are vets, somewhere along the line, and people go up, hopefully go up and thank the vets for being of service, and for the vets who are, being of service right now that are currently deployed somewhere. Yeah, I mean, they're fighting for each other. That's one thing I have to say. Let's put aside the reasons why they actually these days go to different countries. One thing is sure is that soldiers are fighting for each other. Amen. Yeah, because the rest of it is it's just for gain. Soldiers, I don't know. I'm not qualified to talk about these things. I know I started with if you meet someone who's a vet, say thank you for the service. It was just that this one particular gentleman, 10 years out of the service, he felt kind of awkward being thanked for his service because he said it didn't feel like a service. It felt more like an honor to serve this country. I mean, except for killing somebody, yeah, I mean, protecting this country, whether, if it was attacked, which means that my family would be in the crosshairs under attack, and I would definitely fight to protect them. Uh, if it means that I have to take a life, which at this moment I don't see myself doing that. I mean, I even walk around ant piles now or ant trails where I move out of their way. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find that and edit it. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know, something going on. But anyway, I don't usually get sick. If I do, if it's if you want to call it being sick, it's for hours. It doesn't last long. But anyway, so that's what was on Main Street. That's the only note I really have for today. It's Monday, starting everything out fresh again. But let me put this up there first, okay? Let's put this up there, this Fair Use Act. Of course, that always happens. And so we'll put that up there, and then we'll go put this up there. Though I am going to try. Somebody sent me a link to some. I guess he put together a page for me. I was trying to figure out how to put a bunch of pine trees together. Uses my opening background, so on and so forth, or an emblem. I have one that Kyle um, had made for me, ran on the fly. Took him about 2 minutes. And I've used that for a long time. I still like it. But I was actually trying to make one myself with a bunch of pine trees because, I am Pine Grove Avenue. Pine Grove. Okay. There's more than one tree in that grove. So, anyway, you'll probably see it somewhere along the line soon. But the emblem that I used to have was of a lion, and it basically said exactly what you see on the screen there, where it says, the devil said, "You will not survive the storm." And then I said, "I am the storm." Devil thinks he knows everything about me. In any case, not a whole lot of news out there. I'm going to talk about other things. Not really talk about other things. There are other, what do you call it? There are other headlines out there that I want to go to. Different way. We're supposed to be looking at the heavens and watch what's to come and signs in the heavens, and that's where we're going to go as soon as I go through some of these quicker articles that I want to get out of the way. So we'll go there. We'll start here at the big wobble. Weather, right? Weather, earthquakes, from the big wobble. It started raining at the end of September and hasn't stopped since. Coincident? US, UK, and Western Europe enduring their wettest year ever. What that means is it hasn't stopped yet. Yeah, I mean, folks, we've been talking about floods for 2 years now. 2 years straight, at least. Maybe it's been longer. While other places, I wonder if I can find it. While other places like Zimbabwe, is this it? No, it's not. Zimbabwe, anyway, where 100 elephants, I remember the article, 100 elephants died because of a drought in Zimbabwe. And I'm thinking to myself, are you serious? Just look at the pictures here. I mean, with all the water, all the floods everywhere, they know that they can create clouds and end these droughts. We have the technology. You see it all around you. Why don't we just take some of this water that's all over the place everywhere else, clean it up and ship it to Zimbabwe? Let them have all the water they want. Why not? Why can't we do it? There's so much money being spent in the wrong directions, in the wrong areas. Black water, black ops, whatever. Secret, anyways. The Clinton Foundation alone could probably keep Zimbabwe wet for the next 100, 200, maybe even longer years. Anyway. So I know I had that article here somewhere. I don't know if I took it or not. There's a lot of them I didn't take. It just didn't sound like anything new. Everything is basically, same except some upticks. This from End Time Headlines: over 70 earthquakes rattle Ventura and the second quake storm. Swarm, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ventura. Los Angeles. Second day in a row. Now, I don't know how old this is. This is from yesterday. So as of yesterday was the second day in a row, a series of small earthquakes Friday jolted Ventura, startling the early morning hours and lasted into mid-afternoon. Magnitude 3 quake was recorded just before 2 p.m. near Ventura. So what's going on there, right? There's these little earthquakes, storms, or yeah, storms again. Swarm storms. Say that fast 3 times. Okay, so going on in a few places. Let's see. Let's get into talking about volcanoes. I found this very interesting. We thought, we had seen all of the huge, what do they call them? Mega cauldrons, like Yellowstone, Tomasi over there in the northern Pacific, northern West Pacific, actually. Remember? And now they got this one. I don't think I've heard of it. This newly discovered mega volcano off Philippines has the biggest cauldron on Earth. And I know there's one in the Atlantic too that somebody spoke about a year ago. So a team including members from the GNS Science have identified an ancient megavolcano that could have the largest known caldera on Earth. Of course, they were arguing a little bit about whether it was a caldera or whether it was a impact from long ago. But all the science points to a caldera. So this is a oceanic plateau off the Philippine coast. So okay, let me go back up here. In comparison, they were just saying here, the caldera at Topo is about 21.8 miles wide, and that at Yellowstone about 37.3 miles wide. So this one, a Pullica on the crest of the Biam Rise is 93.2 miles. That is almost triple the amount of the size of Yellowstone. So imagine, Yellowstone right now is taking up, 4 states. Not that it's, as big as all 4 states. It just takes up like 4 corners of each state. In any case, that's only 37.3 miles, Yellowstone. 93.2 miles, this one, in the Philippines. So I'm just scrolling through here a couple of the charts, maps, show you exactly where it is. Let's see, the Ryukyu Trench, West Philippine Basin. Let's see. So there she is. There's the land, and this is under the water. Yeah, so, but not only was that fascinating, so that was one thing I've learned today, and I asked the Lord to at least let me learn one thing new every day. Hasn't disappointed whatsoever. So now we're talking about this. It's also from Strange Sounds. This underwater volcano eruption in Tonga, remember, that's where we get a lot of these big earthquakes, these 6+ earthquakes in the recent past. This eruption in the Tonga sinks one island and creates another 3 times larger. Yeah, that's what's going on Earth these days. Massive movement of the crustal plates and volcanoes opening up, fissures opening up. This Earth is in a frenzy right now. Bible said it would be. Bible said it would be tossed to and fro. You're talking about Probably things even bigger than this. Anyways, I won't go into that because I don't have it all in my head right now, but talks about a big earthquake that we felt around the whole world. Anyway, this undersea volcano eruption in the Tonga archipelago has sunk one island, created another one. Let's see, where we read that. Estimated to be about 328 feet, the new island, and 1,312 feet long. And is situated about 100, well, it's 393 feet west of its now submerged predecessor. So here's a little map. This is the Tiki, which is now, I believe that's the one that's underwater now. So you know where it is. It's east of Australia out there in the southern Pacific. And these are the islands there. Let's see, 18-day undersea eruption, October 13th to 31st, appears to sink the island. And then number 2 down here, this one that's 3 times as big or bigger, this new the Tiki, I guess I'm going to call it the same thing, appears in satellite image, 3 times the size of the original. 18 days, that's all it took, 18 days, undersea eruption last month in an area prone to earthquakes and volcanic activity. You're talking about an unrest, man. I know that we've seen other islands appear and disappear recently, past couple years anyway. So here's some satellite images. Satellite imagery shows on the left gases spewing from the underwater volcano, and in the right-hand image, the large green dot is the new island that has been created. This one right here, that's the new one. Just amazing to actually see, just these geological changes right before our eyes. Because normally these geological changes will, take longer than our lifespan anyway. All right, so let's move on. Also from Strange Sounds, new strain of HIV discovered for the first time in 19 years. That's not going to be good. Team of scientists discovered this new strain of HIV for the first time. Yeah, we just heard that. Strain is a subtype of HIV labeled subtype L and is part of group M. It's extremely rare, and the subtype is part of the most common form of the HIV around the world. We don't hear too much more about HIV, do we? It's still there. I know they have medicines for it now, and people are living, longer lives, but it's still there. So according to the researchers, this current HIV treatments will work against the new strain, which provides insight into how HIV evolves over time. Just like everything else. So like the flu, that comes out every year. It's different every year. That's why these, shots that we have to take, sometimes mandated, will not help you. At least not with, the next flu strain that comes out, because they change. So just be aware of that. And it's not just that about the shots, because there was a time back when we took them and they were okay. But now they've got so much more in them, and they're making us take it. So that's why you shouldn't. Definitely why you shouldn't. So you remember we talked about this, I don't know how many, programs ago, 3 or 4. Second woman gets parasitic eye worms. Remember that? So, a species of worm that can infect human eyes has done it again. And this time it shows a 68-year-old woman from Nebraska. The woman is thought to be the only second human victim of these worms ever documented. But the incident signals that they could become an emergent parasitic disease in the U.S. Like we didn't have enough to worry about with all these, you know, bioengineered diseases and superbugs and all this stuff. These things have just grown in intensity and ferocity too, right? So, disturbing details of the case were laid out in a paper published this October. The woman's doctor, as well as researchers from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, contributed to the paper. According to the report, Diane Travers Gustafson, a medical anthropologist from Crickham University in Nebraska, was visiting California in February of 18. Oh, yeah, because remember that was one of the problems. It happened a year ago and nobody reported it. Imagine how many things that goes on in these emergency rooms, and they do not report that stuff. They're supposed to the CDC. And I believe in that article that, excuse me, we put out a few episodes ago, it was reported that they didn't. Yeah, talked about, yeah, she was jogging, ran into a swarm of flies, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how this woman got it. The vector fly will expel larvae onto the surface of the eye. Yeah, yeah. It's never any good when flies get into any soft tissue on your person. Yeah, those things just big carriers. Like the fleas on rats. I mean, that's the bubonic plague there. Black Death, Black Plague. Here we go. This is the one I was talking about. More than 100 elephants died during the worst drought in decades in Zimbabwe. I thought I'd put all these in order. But they're saying at least 105 elephants have died. Most of them in Mana and the larger range nearby communities in search of food and water. That's just, something that shouldn't happen. In this day and age, with the technology we have, that should not happen. It happens because people let it happen. With a lot of these die-offs. I mean, besides the fact that, it is biblical that the Lord said that he would take these things, these beasts away. He gave them to us, and he'll take them away. He giveth, and he taketh away, right? All right, where else can we go? Okay, let's go to this. This is called Signs of the Last Days. Most of the time, it's a pretty good blog. Signs of America and a Modern Civil War in 2020s. I'm not going to go into this, just, except to point it out that something like this is definitely in the works, and it's not going to be really it's not going to be Republicans against Democrats. It's not going to be brother against brother again. It's going to be something different. And I can picture it in my head. A lot of people going up to the White House or the House of Representatives, wherever they reside, with pitchforks and demand that those people resign or just pull them out of the building and send them along their way. Government's too big. Those people are doing nothing but distracting and spending money unnecessarily just for political gain and vengeance. The Lord said, vengeance is mine. It's not any of ours. We are not entitled to vengeance. We're to love our brothers and sisters. We're actually told to love our enemies. It's just as hard for me to do as it is for anybody else, but you can. It's like it's hard to forgive many people for the things that they've either done to us or to other people, but we do, don't we? And if you're trying to be godlike, if you're trying to be like Christ, and you're on that narrow road, I'm saying it just becomes easier to do those things. It's a journey, we call it a walk, right? Our walk. This is my walk. You have your walk. We're all at different levels, but all these things are possible. I didn't think they were before. I didn't think loving my enemy could ever happen. And sometimes, my fleshly mind gets triggered to the point where I think twice about that sometimes. Especially when it comes to children being hurt and other things that are going on. And you know what? We're not going to be able to stop it if that's the Lord's will. And it's all in the Bible. It's prophesied. So, of course, we can pray against it. Anyway, I didn't read this. I just thought it might be interesting. The new Prince of Power in the Mideast. I'm going to read it later. I'm offering it here for you to read. Because we are definitely watching the things that are going on in the Mideast. America supposedly pulling out of Syria. I heard they had tanks going to the Mideast 6 days ago. I heard that Iraq was at least where American soldiers were staying. I don't know if it was the green zone. But they were attacked with missiles today, I think. Today or yesterday. Russia has entered the void where America was in the Middle East, in northeast Syria. Russia is moved in. Russia is, policing that buffer zone. So, Gog, Magog, the power of the North seems to be coming together. And now that are out of the Middle East, mostly, at least that's what, a lot of people are saying, left the void there. Even though Israel says, they don't need America. Well, things are just moving. Things are moving into the prophecy of Gog and Magog war, Ezekiel 38. That may be happening sooner than we all think. A lot of things. Things are moving at a fast pace. Need to keep an eye on all that. I'm going to go through these next few quickly, okay? I'll leave the links for you, of course. But I'm just going to read the headlines, maybe touch on it for a second. This is from the End Time Headlines. Lesbian minister appointed new head of National Abortion Federation. Well, it's kind of pretty sorry, pretty bad when you got the act of abortion as a federation and somebody has to lead this federation. And of course, it's going to be a lesbian minister. In any case, man, it's just dark out there and things are changing. It's changing right before our eyes. A lot of people aren't doing anything, but there are people that are going to kick back. And I hope it's people trying to be Christ-like, like me and yourself. I'm trying to kick back on these things as much as I can. Posting these things around, even signing petition. I mean, whatever I got to do. There's not much I can do as one person, but I can try and get this stuff out. Be the watchman on the wall at least, and make sure people at least hear about this. Yeah, so nearly half of the young, this is from the Christian Post, Nearly half of young adults with ties to Christianity say church can't answer their questions, according to a survey. And my thoughts about this is that they probably gave the wrong I don't know. Because if I was given a survey, I would at least at the same time tell them that there is answers to their questions. I'm not going to agree that there are questions that can't be answered, because they can be answered. They most certainly can. Believe it or not, there is a way of life in that book. It teaches you things about life. Just go and read it and you'll find out for yourself. That's how I learned as a young adult when I wasn't called. I opened the book once in a while. I read from different books, tried to learn some things, and some things I did learn. But I wasn't called until about, I don't know, 92. In any case, there are questions. So you run across these young adults, and I think they labeled it 18 to 33. And that is one of our commissions. I believe our commission is to go out and preach that Jesus is coming. Okay? That the Lord is Christ, our Savior. He's coming back, and we need to prepare ourselves. And these children, if we stop answering their questions, just the answers are in the Word, in the Bible. They are. A lot of these adults, especially now, don't want to hear the answers. They'll hear an answer, but they're not going to accept it. And we have to realize that a lot of these people, they're given this delusion of accepting a lie. The Lord said he would do that. In any case, don't let any of these people who are lost get past you. If they're put in front of you, you stand in that gap. You be the intercessor. You tell them that there are answers. And if you don't know the answer, you should know somebody who does. I don't know all the answers, but I can, have these people talk to other people too. People that have been, in the faith a lot longer than I have. And maybe some that haven't been in as long as I have. I mean, that's why we fellowship. So we know each person is in their own level, in their own walk, and they all have different answers, and they can help. There is answers to it. First case of dengue spread by sex confirmed in Spain. Well, no kidding. I mean, if you have someone who's got the dengue fever, basically the hands off, right? You don't want to spread this disease. This is just, I don't know, let's put it out there to make us look stupid. Maybe there's some who just don't think, yes, but anyway. Spread by sex. It could be just touching somebody, whatever. It's not reality. Don't know why they put it there, but I'm telling you. School teaches 6-year-old there is no such things as boys and girls. These people finally fought back, okay? This 6-year-old girl, their parents are fighting back. So parents who filed a human rights complaint against a school where their 6-year-old daughter was being taught that there's no such thing as boys and girls have now filed a lawsuit against the school board, principal, and teacher. And you know what, folks? That seems to be the only way people will move if they're being sued. It's about the money. If you start affecting the money, they will start changing. It's simple. That's why we sign petitions. That's why we go to court. That's why we sue. You know, we have the Constitution again for us. Yeah. So, anyways, this teacher, and it was in public school in Ontario, Canada. So, thank you, Canada. And this is good news too. I mean, bill to ensure schools offer Bible classes advances in Florida. Yeah, you don't hear too many stories like that, huh? It's rare. I've heard it, one again probably a couple months ago, but yeah, optional Bible classes across Florida's public schools has advanced to the state Senate. This bill, SB 746, was filed by Ocala Republican Senator Dennis Baxley and would require the state to offer elective courses in New and Old Testament Bible studies and Hebrew scriptures according to Florida politics. I thought politics weren't to get involved in the church. They're so big that they have to get into everything. And so, there's gonna be a lot more reportings of this. Be careful of this deception. Cigar-shaped UFO appears over Kansas, leaving onlookers baffled. It wouldn't baffle me at all. I mean, to me, it looks like some kind of blimp. Yeah. There's been a lot of reports over the years, over the decades, of cigar-shaped UFOs. Unidentified flying objects. So, you're going to hear more about it too, especially now that the airline industry, the commercial industry, pilots are now allowed to report them and have been. And there's a reason behind that. So remember, we don't want to be deceived because there is a great deception coming. And I'm not sure what it is. I have my opinions, assumptions, and others do too. Listen to them. And that's all I want. I'm just going to go to one of my, let's see, one of my, you call it a feed, bro. It's one of these news sites. And it's just basically the Daily Express Science, okay, RSS feed. And I wanted to report on these things. There were so many in here. I don't know if I can't leave you the extension to my Feedbro tab there, but like I'm telling you right now, it's from Daily Express Science. You probably type that in, go right to it. I believe it's another UK paper, something like that. But it seemed kind of interesting. They got quite a few articles out here that I wanted to or have you look at. Maybe you're interested in. Got a lot of NASA mysteries. So, anyways, what are these black holes on Jupiter? This stuns with unique picture. NASA's Hubble telescope snapped these ominous black hole shadows creeping up the gas giant Jupiter. But what is this unique event unfolding on the planet? I don't think they'll ever tell you. They never really do. I'm going to load that up anyway. I wasn't going to load it up. I was just going to leave you a link. But there's your dailyexpress.co.uk. So that will be in the video. You can go to that one. Oh, yeah. Got to accept the cookies. Yeah, I get plenty of cookies. No milk, but plenty of cookies. Come on, man. That's what happens when you give them the cookies. Even though you got an ad stopper here, right? Anyways, so what are these black holes? Yeah, so what are they? Well, let's go. Let's go to the video. Why is it 3/4 of the way played? Don't know. I don't see any black dots yet. See this white one down here? See that? Well, that's kind of like false advertising, right? Where are they? I see this one that keeps blinking off and on. How come they're not calling that a UFO? Oh, shopping object, mysterious object appears on the planet, but where's the one about the darn, you know, black holes on Jupiter? That's what we're watching this for. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you look at it for the first time. This is stuff I got to do, man. I got to go through this, make sure the right one runs you. This is not the one. Oh yes, let's get back to this because I wanted to see this one right here. SpaceX launches Starlink. 60 new satellites take flight, but astronomer warns it's a mess. The only thing you need to know is this: 60 new satellites. He said he was going to do this. And you know what this is? This is part of that 5G um, plus. Uh, this is what's going on in California, some think. That they're trying to get rid of these power lines. They're going to say that it's just, too far gone and just causes fires and blah, blah, blah. And besides putting it on the ground, well, let's do something better. And we've talked about this once before, okay? Why don't we just put 60, 100 satellites in the sky and just beam the electricity down? You know about Tesla and all that stuff, that the Earth and this whole universe is all electric. Somebody was talking today about human beings being static electricity. And anyway, he went pretty off in a totally different direction, had to shut him off. Yeah, earthing and all that junk, which I'm still in prayer about, but I'm pretty sure that it's technology that we shouldn't have and things that we shouldn't be doing. Some of these things, but anyway, yeah, that's what they're talking about. Beaming this stuff down from space into collectors on the ground and getting your electricity that way. That's, I believe, is one of the new technologies in this 5G. Any case, want to? I mean, how many? And this one over. How many moons can you name? Okay, this one's a beaver moon. I've never heard of a beaver. I've been at least aware of my surroundings since I was 9 or 10 years old, and I've never heard of a beaver moon. You know, wolf moon, blood moon, harvest moon, red moon. I know there's a few more. Wolf moon, beaver moon. I've never heard of. Anyway, I guess they're just all going to make it up anyway as they go along. This one I wanted you to see too. I've seen this article before, but I thought the transit of Mercury across the sun already went by. So they're saying that this was only 6 hours ago. I don't believe that, but that would be something to see if you can look at the sun, with a filter of some type, and you can do that with welding glasses. You can get a pair of welding glasses and put them in front of your binoculars. So, is this it? Let's hear it. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I don't know if this is the path that they've already received. I hate when they do that, man. I don't want this darn video up here. But 13 times. Let's see. From our position on Earth, Mercury transits is evidence of a solar system's clock-like movements. The spectacle of astronomy only occurs about 13 times every 100 years. When it does, astronomers on Earth have front view seats to one of nature's greatest spectacles. I did hear about this when I was younger too. So 13 times every 100 years. So what is that? Like once every 10% would be once every 10 years. So probably once every 7.5 years, maybe. 7.5 years, 79, that'd be 91. So a little bit more than 7.5 years, maybe almost 8. Maybe we'll call it 8. 8 would give us a little over 100 years. But it doesn't, I'm trying to look for a date. What is the Mercury Transit? Why does it happen? When does it happen? Please, when? Race around the sun on very different orbits of the past, never quite aligned, but on a dozen occasions every century or so. Mercury appears to pass directly. Seen from Earth. Come on. So today, November 11th, astronomers predicted Mercury will fly past the sun from about 12:35 GMT and wrap around 4:15 p.m. GMT. So now we just got to find out, what was that, Greenwich Mean Time or something like that? What is that, 5 to 7 hours ahead of us? So I don't know what the heck that would be. 4 p.m. What was that? I don't know. If that's 5 hours would make it a little before noontime, which you couldn't see it in the daytime anyway. Well, maybe, yeah, with the sun. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're looking at the sun that you want it out there, I guess, during the day. Not at night, because it doesn't shine at night. Silly boy. Planet Mercury is flying by in front of the sun today. Yeah, well, we missed it here in the East Coast. Doesn't matter anyway. It's dark time. Nighttime. Thanks to the daylight savings. Yeah, so I don't know. When we're going to see it again? 13 years? And it should be about 73. Awesome. So according to the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, Mercury will next transit the sun on November 13th, 2032. So that is, let's see, it's 19th, 20, yeah, 13 years. Yeah, when I'm 73, I'll be able to see it again. I want to, hopefully we're all raptured before that. Yeah, so I'd have to wait till I'm 73. 13 years. Well, good luck to everyone. I'm sure somebody's got a recording of it. It's not the same, though. I mean, nothing is the same unless you view it with your own eyes. Right? Let's go view that again. Okay. Let's watch it. You won't see it for another 13 years. There it goes. Every hour, it transits that one little slots. Southeast. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen it. There's a lot of things, every time I buy a telescope, they're saying, on the telescope's package that we could actually see the rings of Saturn. Never has happened. I've never been able to see the rings of Saturn. Now, I've seen other people go live with their telescopes, and that's almost as good as live. And even though it is live, you know what I mean, seeing it with your own eyes, which you are, but you know what I mean. In any case, I've seen, Dark Sky Watcher. He was the one guy that I followed one time, and there's a couple of them out there. You can get a list of them once you go to Dark Sky Watcher. He's the one that actually showed me hidden spacecraft out parked around our planet and other places. Well, at least they look like parked spacecraft. Some of them were actually morphing. Could have been satellites. I don't know. He just put that in my head, so that's what I assumed they were. So with that, everyone, that will be it for Monday. Hopefully, I will be back on Wednesday, and we could do this all again. Right? Awesome. Anyways, if anybody's listening, please hit the share or like button because I get put out on search pages if you hit the like and share button, or at least the like button, or don't like. I don't care. I mean, one of the two puts me out there more so other people can see it. I still haven't tried the thing that I was going to do on Friday. I will try that eventually. But with that, everyone, uh, keep your family safe, keep them close. Please, people, don't be worried over small little things that you have no control over. Don't be distressed over little things that are just vain, things that I don't know, that other people fight and cuss over, little things, material things, especially. I mean, don't get so distressed over. Well, I'm not going to say it any better than that, than things that you cannot control, because that's what my father-in-law taught me. The one thing that man taught me that you can't, you can be less stressed. Don't stress over the things that you have no control over. Because I was very upset that my car broke down in the stupid pouring rain, and I had to walk half a mile to get him to come help us because something else was broken. And he must have saw something in me because just like my 2-year-old daughter, Cassie, one day came up to me and said, "Don't worry, be happy." My little 2-year-old daughter. And she definitely turned me around. So in any case, anyone, God bless you. See you Wednesday, hopefully, Lord willing. And keep looking up, man. Our redemption draws nigh. Peace out, everyone.